everybody. Welcome to Eagles Postgame Live. Eagles comeback victory over the Washington Commanders explode for 28 points in the second half. We're breaking it down. Top takeaways, player of the game, all that and more. Joining me, let's lead off with my man, Mike Laurel. He is Big Al, EOP on Twitter. You and Pat are.
Yeah, I know. I get in here. I was watching the game. I didn't get a chance. I changed my name at least. At least he wasn't. I'm not calling other Pat Bernard.
I saw that. I was like, what? Huh?
Yeah, that's why I chimed in last night. I had to write, "Hey, hi, Mike." But that's okay. You can call me. You can call me Al. Dude, defense.
Let's go.
Sean Desai, what in the hell are you doing?
Oh my god.
We're gonna talk about it all, man. Also joining us from Hardcore Sports Network, it is the Mitch Kofsky at Mitch Kofsky on Twitter. What's good, man?
I don't know what to say because in the beginning I was like, watch the defense. They're gonna let up like usual, and what happened? And then come back from behind. I'm like, what else is there? It's Philly. It's a Philly thing.
I hate playing the Commanders, yo. I absolutely hate playing the Commanders. I'm good getting it out of the way 8 weeks into the season. Play them twice, get it done. Because there's something about this team that I just hate. Quinn says cardiac birds, 100%.
Right.
Julio in the red zone got his first touchdown with the Philadelphia Eagles today. What is up, Daniel? Guys, comment your thoughts on the game. We got Merrick in the house. Nice win from the Eagles. Won't be surprised if y'all make it to the Super Bowl. We'll see about that. Thirds down bunch is Eagles kryptonite. We're going to talk about this Eagles coverage unit because anything quick hitters, we're going to talk about how to stop that because that's got to be a major topic here. Not a Rams fan anymore. They need to fire McVay. All right, we're not talking about that. But let's get into this. Let's start defense. Eagles truly got exposed by this dude. Oh my gosh, Sam Howell, who killed them in game one with his legs, with his arms, in big moments, on big plays, third downs. And sure enough, through the first 2 quarters of this one, absolutely just torched the Eagles safeties. He picked apart Reed Blankenship, picked apart Sidney Brown again and again and again. It was bad. It was really bad at times. He was like, 33 of 37 at some point or something along those lines. And then the second half happened, and we're going to talk about it. But here's some major stats here. And I'm not including that last garbage touchdown by the Commanders. It didn't mean a goddamn thing. In the second half, Sam Howell was 8 of 18, 104 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The Commanders had 28 plays, 124 yards. That was 4.4 yards per play. You look on the other side, Jalen Hurts, 9 of 12, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15.6 yards per completion. The Eagles had 27 plays for 208 yards and 7.7 yards per play. There was a lot of bad here to kind of rip apart, but the Eagles did adjust. The Eagles' big play offense did come back in the second half. And there you go. So they did limit Sam Howell a little bit, and it was enough. Reed Blankenship had the interception. Hassan Reddick had a huge sack on 4th down. My voice is going, but that's the take. The Eagles did adjust. They took care of business. It wasn't pretty. I am done with the Washington Commanders. I'll throw it to you, Mitch, first. What's your main take?
My main take, I feel like this is repetition. Just like. And we started off the game not aggressive, not hot, not like birds that we know and love. I'm just like, it's a routine for me. Get nervous, come back. I'm like, please stop doing this. Stop doing this. But A.J. Brown, man, he broke the record. A.J. Brown broke the record. And it's still going, baby, against the Cowboys. He might get another one of those. Yeah, that's my take, man. It's just A.J. Brown. He's killing it.
Brown. Oh, my God. A.J. Brown had 8 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. I got asked if A.J. Brown is better than T.O. This might be better than T.O.'s season. This might be better. What about you, Mike? What's your take on A.J. Brown, and what's your main take from this game?
My take on A.J. Brown is right now nobody can cover him. And I think it bodes well for the Eagles moving forward because we've seen this year the Eagles kind of play down to their competition. And they also play up to their competition. So you got the boys coming in this week, and you know what? They put a pretty good beating on the Rams today. So I'm loving the fact because I can smell it now. I can smell Dallas's overconfidence. I can smell their fans' overconfidence with this game going forward. There might be a couple real ones out there that might be a little worried about this game, but overall, I am a little worried because I did not see that push up the middle today.
Yep.
We've been seeing that offensive line was there to be had, and there was no push up the middle. Now, granted, Jalen Carter did go down with a back injury. We got to hope that young man's going to be good to go for next Sunday. But my overall takeaway from this is when they needed to score and they needed to put this game on the offensive side of the ball, the offense answered. I mean, it was nice to see Devontae Smith finally for a couple of weeks. I thought I was about to put him on the back of a milk carton. You know? Yep. So, again, he spreaded the ball around. If you take a look, when they came out in the second half, they started spreading the ball around. Zacchaeus got involved. He had Swift out of the backfield, Gainwell out of the backfield, Dallas Goedert. That opened everything up. The Eagles got to continue to do that. I feel like, and, you know, one of our guys who chimes in, Mike Papernick, I was going back and forth with him during this game. It seems like ever since that blow up with AJ's gone off, but like everybody else on the team is kind of put on the back burner. They got to start spreading it all around now. And I think if they do that, they're going to be a dangerous team.
Yep, absolutely. Eagles fan Kylie says during the bye week, Hurts needs to rest his knee. The dude looks hurt. The dude looks absolutely hurt. Gainwell, we can talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about that when we get to the offense. Steven says, I'm not normally a sky is falling guy, but JFC Dean cannot play NFL linebackers with the two defensive tackles. Blank was cooked alive. To be fair, one of those throws was perfect by Sam Howell to Logan Thomas. We got bailed out. That's the blueprint to beat the Eagles, right? Like those quick slants, those quick passes, it negates our defensive line. For a second time in a row against the Commanders, the Eagles' defensive line looked pretty human. And this is a defensive line that has been absolutely crushing. They're not even blitzing. They just rush 4, and they've been delivering. Whatever it is against the Commanders, they got our number because if you remember, the Eagles did have 5 sacks against the Commanders in week 4, but 3 of those were Nick Morrow. And here, I thought Dean really struggled in coverage. You know, it's hard to stop a quick strike offense, but it's kind of the kryptonite to slow down a great defensive line. Like if your defensive front doesn't control the action, like you've got to have linebackers that have great gap control. You've got to have safeties that know how, that are adept against the run in the pass. You've got to have corners that can play press. We don't do that. We don't do that at all. And that's been the blueprint since week 1. That we're going to be seeing that again and again. And for better or worse, man, Sam Howell, I guess that kind of just fits into everything that Sam Howell does really well because he had a phenomenal game. He had 397 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, to Reed Blankenship, and just sacked once.
Yeah, if you go back and look at this, Dibes, I'm looking at his thing. He dropped back 52 times. And out of 52 times, you only got to him 1 time.
What?
Like, that's a little concerning for me. And like I said, their starting guard was out, did not play today. So, and I'm like you. I am so glad that we are done with the Commanders because it seems like they save their best games for us every year because it doesn't matter. Like, they can go play – and us and the home game against Dallas. Whenever they get their home game against the Cowboys, they really seem to kind of put on a good front. But other than that, like, they lose to the Giants twice a year. You know, they always steal one from us. Thank God they didn't do it this year. So, I mean, look, I love going ahead with this, but you also got to take the tip of your cap, too, as far as their defense. You got to remember, they got 4 number 1 draft picks coming at you on that defensive line with Chase Young, Montez Sweat, you know, I forget the other guy's name, the other defensive end they have down there.
Chase Young.
Well, Chase Young, and then the other one, there's another defensive end that's on that line. Jonathan Allen. So you have 4 you have 4, number 1 picks coming at you. So, and then of course, what's his face getting hurt today kind of was like, when Opeta going down. So we have to wait and see. Like I said, they're going to have their work cut out for them coming in, because I got a feeling this Dallas team's going to be coming in awful confident after spanking the Rams.
Absolutely. Again, the Eagles did hold Sam Howell to much better stats in the second half. 8 of 18, 104 yards and an interception in the second half. I'm not including that last touchdown, but the Eagles did finally get to him somewhat. The Eagles did finally get home somewhat. Steven says Milton Williams, Reddick, and Morrow came to play. The fake tush push was awesome. I don't know, man. I wish they kind of saved it. I honestly wish they kind of saved it a little bit. That was an amazing play. Secondary coverage was soft like Charmin. Even James Bradbury dropped.
He was horrible today.
If that ball hit him right in the hands, if he catches that ball, he's gone. That is an 80-yard pick six. And again, missed opportunities for this defense because defensive takeaways have been an issue. That's why a lot of us thought this was going to be an Eagles route, because the Commanders at home average. Look at Sam Howell. He's thrown 6 interceptions in home games this year. And with the Eagles' lack of defensive takeaways, I thought this was going to be the week with Sam Howell getting sacked 40 times coming into this week. 40 times. I don't know what it is.
Well,
the Eagles just truly struggle with physical defensive lines. They struggle with physical offensive lines, and that seems to be kind of the common denominator when you look at the Jets game and things like that.
My only thing right now that I'm really going to say with the Eagles is I felt like they should have ran the ball a little more. Mm-hmm. Hurts is dealing with an injury, but I can also see why they abandoned it too, because early on in the game, they were not allowing this Eagles team to establish the run. They were really kind of, shutting the door down on that. But this is what I'm saying. If you're looking at it, and I'm going to use the Cowboys for a good example, is Cowboys have been blowing teams out all year long, where the Eagles have been in fist fights all year long. So when you get a guy who's been the bully and they've been bullying people, and you've been getting into a guy that, for the most part, you've won your battles, but they've been tough and you've had to come through them. That's being battle tested. And, going forward, I think this is going to benefit the Eagles going into this stretch of games. Because, like I said, they've been playing up and down to their competition. Look how they were a week ago. A week ago, they took the highest scoring offense in the league and gave up 7 points. That same defense that gave up 400 yards passing to Sam Howell today, gave up 7 points to 2.
Yeah.
And that explosive Dolphins defense. So, again, plus Kevin Byard will get another week in the system. He just got here on Wednesday. So, I think it looks good going forward. I really do. They just got to run the ball a little bit more. Hurts is banged up. Get through this Dallas game. Like, they got to come out next Sunday afternoon, and they just got to, do what they normally do, with the Cowboys. If you go back and look over these last 14 games or something like that, Lane Johnson makes Demarcus Lawrence, he makes them disappear. He disappears.
And Parsons.
And Mailata takes care of Parsons, yeah. So you got to be able to run the ball. And I think right now the Eagles are setting themselves up really to be in pretty decent shape going through this. I don't think this is going to be – I said it earlier this morning on P&M and the AM with me and Al. I told him, I don't think this is going to be as bad of a stretch as it looked in the beginning of the year. And Al said the same thing. Doesn't look as bad now.
Yep. Final thoughts on the defense. Jahan Dotson, Logan Thomas absolutely torched the Eagles in the slot. 14 catches, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Brutal to watch. The Eagles need to find an answer for that because that has been the Achilles heel of this Eagles defense in coverage. Nakobe Dean, love you, man. Not a great game. Not a great game by the Eagles safeties until that Reed Blankenship interception. It was a big play. Don't get me wrong. But they need to be better, and they will be better when Byard gets regular more opportunities to get used to this Eagles defense. Let's go back to that Eagles offense, Mike. You talk about running the football. DeAndre Swift finished with 16 carries for 57 yards. I am fairly certain he only had 1 or 2 carries in the first half. So they did kind of give Swift the ball in the second half. We have to talk about that. I mean, the Eagles offense in the red zone has been a thorn in their side. And the fact that you had 2 fumbles, one on the 1 yard line and one on the 3 yard line. Is that correct? I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
One was a touch push by Jalen Hurts. The other was an insane play call to Kenny Gainwell. And I, for the life of me, do not understand why Gainwell continues to be featured in the red zone. We have said this 1,000 times for weeks. It does not work. It does not work. I mean, case in point, look at that AJ Brown, the one-handed catch that he had in the end zone. Give it to your playmakers. Your offense is loaded. Goddard, Swift, Brown, you name it. And you go to Kenny Gainwell. That guy shouldn't get another carry. I don't understand. And then what was even more mind-numbing, he got like 4 or 5 more touches on the next series.
I got a question for
what the Eagles see in this dude.
I got a question for both of you guys. Where's Rashad Penny?
Right.
Yeah.
This is what this dude is tailor-made for. Why not dress him and let him run the ball? I mean, if you want to make Swift your feature back, that's fine. Put Rashad Penny in the game. Rashad Penny behind this offensive line is going to be nasty. They will not give this dude a chance. Now, I don't know if he's on the trading block, maybe go somewhere else this week. But if he's on this team after this week, they got to start putting him in and let Gainwell do what he does best. He catches the ball out of the backfield in space against, linebackers. Let him do that. This dude running the ball down the goal line, dives. I agree with you totally, man. He can't do it. He can't do it. He got lucky last week because he spun off. He fumbled today. And Hurts, too. Hurts has got to learn to hold on to the damn ball. This fumbling stuff got to stop. He's turning the ball over way too much. And it came back to bite us in the Jets game. And you know what? Going into these, like I said, these next set of games coming up, these next 5 or 6 games, it's going to bite us in the butt again if he doesn't hold on to this ball. Yeah. Now, if you throw a ball up and a guy comes down with an interception, that's going to happen. But damn, dude, hold on to the ball.
Mm-hmm. Quinn says we need a bigger running back that will get 3 yards when there's no hole. That's literally what Rashad Penny does.
That's Penny. That's his specialty right there.
He does. At least last year, his numbers after contact were among the best in the league. I don't understand it. Quinn says agreed. Give Penny a chance after the trade deadline. That's what the hope is, that they're doing their best to save Penny and maybe utilize him more. Maybe kind of give Swift a break and then ramp him back up at the end of the season and keep him fresh. Maybe. Quinn says,
I like this one.
Julio. I like it too. I got something to say about this, but I'll let you go.
Go ahead. Yeah. I mean, Julio got his first touchdown in Eagles green today. It was his only catch, but it was a big catch.
The thing for me, man, and Julio, that's exactly what we needed, right? We needed a target in that red zone. We were being towards the bottom in the red zone. I think we were bottom 3, bottom 4, at least around there. Just adding Julio Jones in that spot is perfect. And I'm in a group text with my family. I'm pretty sure all of us are. And we're just where's Julio Jones throughout the game? Throughout the game, he was nowhere to be found. But in the red zone at the right time, he's there. It's perfectly placed. Perfectly placed. And it's definitely better than Watkins. He's better than Zacchaeus. Yep. So I'll take it. I'll take that.
Yeah, he's a low-key addition to this team. That the Eagles' red zone was 4 of 6 against the Miami Dolphins. Today, let's look at their stats today. Against the Washington Commanders, the Eagles were 3 of 5. So that's good. 7 of 11. They're 7-11 in the last 2 games. That was a major sore spot for the Eagles. Just stop giving it to Gainwell. Stop giving it to goddamn Kenny Gainwell, and they'll be fine. They will be fine. Quentin says Julio touchdown was from a max protect 2-man route.
Yep.
Kamar says Gainwell gets carries because Swift is a below average pass blocker. So I hear. And Steven says that was a thrown seed to JJ. Let's get into Jalen Hurts. I thought Jalen Hurts had a very good game. He's kind of had a slow start in this one. He finished with 319 yards. He had averaged 8.4 yards per completion, 4 touchdowns, 135.7 quarterback rating. Again, the feel, the chemistry with AJ Brown continues to be, I don't know, better than anything we've seen from McNabb and T.O. Like they are just completely in sync. It's going to be a fun ride, man. It's going to be a fun ride. Mitch, what did you think of Jalen Hurts today?
He had a great game. Like in the beginning, like you said, he was a little slow. I'm guessing that knee was bothering him to an extent. I mean, he couldn't run, he couldn't throw, do anything. The Commanders got him where they wanted him to be. But the thing for me is the fumble. The fumble for me is the biggest thing. The game, he had a good game overall, but that fumble, man, a huge part in the red zone. If we scored those 2 touchdowns, we would have had 52 points. Just let that sink in. We would have had 52. I'm not saying this is a win, but I'm saying we could have more. And Jalen Hurts, just hold on to the damn ball. I don't understand what's going on with him, man. I just don't. Is it like this? Here you go. Here's the ball. I just don't understand. That's
why I said I'm just glad to be done with the Commanders. Like the Eagles just have a knack for just playing sloppy against this team, playing down to this team. In game 1, in week 4, they had 11 turnovers. Today they had 2 they had 11 penalties in week 4. Today they had 2 bad turnovers. And that was, this game could have been a lot different rather than a comeback victory. Mike, what do you think of Jalen Hurts?
Again, a little careless with the ball around the goal line. He's got to clean that up. He's got to clean up the fumbles, man. The fumbles are killing this team. Because like Mitch said, the 2 fumbles inside the 3-yard line, again, that's 14 more points added on to this. Now you're putting up a 50 burger against this team and you're blowing them out. So then you don't have to worry about nothing. But going forward, I'm going to sit there and say this. You can tell he's hurt because at times when he did take off, you could see that knee is bothering him.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm worried about a little bit. This is why I'm saying this week, Rashad Penny needs to be activated and let this dude get hit. Let him go through practice all week. I don't care who they sit. Sit somebody. Put Rashad Penny in because they're going to need to run the ball and to control the line of scrimmage against the Dallas Cowboys. If they can do that, they're going to be really good going into the bye week. Other than that, they got to cut down on the turnovers. But I thought Jalen played a smart game. He started throwing the ball. When he started spreading the ball around times, it looked like the field opened up for him.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith was able to go deep, and he couldn't have been any more wide open on that touchdown.
I know, right?
No.
That was great. Steven says turnovers are not going to cut it. I love this comment. Hassan Reddick is like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat in the 4th quarter and 3rd down. Would be great. Could be a great highlight type. Get over here! I love the Mortal Kombat reference.
I love it though, Shane.
That's fantastic. Yeah, you look at Jalen Hurts, 4 carries in this one. You look at the last few weeks. Week 5, he had 15 carries. Week 6, 8 carries. Week 7, 11 carries. In fact, four times this season in 7 weeks, he's had at least 10 carries. Only 4 this week. This dude's hurting. He's hurting. We saw I don't know. Did we even see a design run from Hurts today? Like that tells you everything. That tells you how much.
Runs.
So just stay healthy. My God, like that's the take. Is Hurts needs to stay healthy. Again, I thought he had a very good game, but I'm a little worried about that knee because you take the legs away from this dude, and we're having a different conversation. That's just the honest truth. So let's jump into our. Anybody have any other offense takes on the offense before we get into player of the game?
Yeah, Dallas Goedert had a nice game today. Dallas Goedert, I thought, had a nice game. They utilized him. They were able to get the ball to him. I thought Dallas had a really good game today, and they're gonna need him to be pretty big too, going forward.
All right, ready for this stat? Per Tim McManus, Jalen Hurts was 15 of 15 for 228 yards and 3 touchdowns when targeting A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith today. So, no more of this Kenny Gainwell bullshit. Give the ball to your playmakers. Like, I don't want to see just give it. Let your guys make plays on the ball. Period. Quentin says, glad to see Skinny Reaper have a good game. Yeah, he's been struggling. Devontae had 7 catches for 99 yards. I'm going to look up his game log real quick in this one. But coming up into this one, he had just 4 catches for 49 yards, 5 for 44. So this is definitely arguably his best game of the year. Besides the Minnesota game where he had 4 catches for 131 yards. But let's get into our players of the game. Mitch, you lead us off, man. Who is your player of the game today?
Well, it's definitely not this guy. It's his best friend, A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
I got to give to A.J. Brown, man. The guy's the best in the league. And I'm usually a guy like to stick up for like Cooper Kupp and all those guys. I'm like, A.J. Brown is not there yet. But now I got to say it. A.J. Brown's there. No one can guard this man. Especially after the rank he had in week 1. He's just playing unbelievable. And he broke the record. If he's not the MVP, I don't know who is.
Yeah, that's too easy.
I had to.
At least make it difficult. Come on, man. All right. Mike, who's your player of the game?
My player of the game is going to be.
Don't say it.
I think I know what you're going.
I'm a defensive guy, so I'm going to go Hassan Reddick.
Damn it!
Wait, that was it? No way.
I was going Reddick, yeah.
I was going to go Hassan Reddick because he put the game away when you needed to. That guy's temple tough, and you know what? That's what I'm going with, man. I'm sorry I didn't mean to take yours, times, but I mean the easy pickings are Hurts and Hurts and Brown. But I mean, when it came time, Reddick got in there, and he's going to be my Eagle of the game.
Yeah, Quentin says player of the game was the Titans GM who got fired for trading A.J. Brown to us. Absolutely, man. I tweeted that. I said, thank you, Titans, like a while ago after, I think, the first or second touchdown. But Hassan Reddick, man, he's the best closer in Philadelphia, right? I mean, the amount of high leverage sacks this guy has had the last year and a half is bananas. I mean, that was a huge moment for Reddick. He needed one more sack today, and he would have been like among breaking some crazy ass Eagles records with Reggie White for back-to-back multi-sack games. But Reddick, man, he's amazing. I'll
tell you what, going forward, man. I caught a little bit. I had Red Zone on. I'm at the studio, so I had Red Zone on watching. And I'll tell you what, that Dallas offensive line better shore up some things because the Rams were getting after Dak a little bit today. I mean, hitting him a lot in the beginning of the game. And I don't know if they want to do that with Reddick and company compounding around. So, like I said, to me, the game, Washington is now behind us for the year. Hate week has officially started for me.
Oh, baby.
It started for me, too.
Yeah. So now it's off of the Commanders. Let's bring on the boys. Let's see what they got. And I wonder what Skip's going to say tomorrow with Jalen Hurts having a 135.7 passer rating with a banged up knee.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, baby. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'll go Hurts. I mean, that's a layup.
You can do that, man. Hey, listen, if to be honest with you, you probably made the right call. I mean, I just wanted to go different.
I wanted to go Reddick.
I mean, you could go Blankenship for that pick.
That was a big pick. Nakobe Dean had 12 tackles in this one, 2 tackles for loss. Doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it at all.
Reed had 9 tackles. Sidney Brown had a couple tackles for loss.
That hit that he put on Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was nice. He sticks, man. He definitely sticks. Zach Cunningham had some nice moments in coverage. I'm just a little worried about Dean in coverage, man. That's the big thing. And the Eagles pass defense has no right to get exposed like that. Like whether it's like they need to run more press or I don't know what it is, but Sean Desai's got to figure that out. I know he's trying to take away the big play and things like that. But man, I'm worried. Like the blueprint is absolutely out to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Is beat up the Eagles in the trenches and just quick strike them to death and negate their best, arguably their best unit, which is their defensive line.
And like I said, the Cowboys coming up, you got three really good quick wide receivers with Lamb, Brooks, and Gallup. I mean, Gallup hasn't been much this year for the Cowboys, but he always seems to perform well against us. Yeah. So, you're right. They got to get up in press coverage. Hopefully, Bradley Roby will be ready to go next week. Although I didn't think Eli Ricks did a bad job. It was mainly Bradbury. I think Bradbury had a really big game today.
Yeah, and the drop pick, man. Like, the defensive takeaways have not been coming. They've probably got, like, at least 3 or 4 dropped interceptions this year. In their hands, and they just drop it. Yeah. And Bradbury had a bad one in a big moment, high leverage moment. That was Steven says he needs to move back outside when Roby is back. You're probably right.
He played outside for the most part.
He did play outside most of the game.
Yeah, most of the game today. He wasn't lined up in the slot all that often because Ricks was playing in the slot. And I thought Ricks is becoming a very good find for the Eagles. And if he keeps playing the way he's playing, Avonte Maddox is going to be out of a job.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about Avonte Maddox. I haven't even thought about the name Avonte Maddox in weeks.
I haven't either. And you know what? I keep on saying this to my family and friends and people at Hardcore Sports Network. Our cornerbacks are too old. Our corners are too old and can't keep up with these young guys. We just can't. I mean, it's clear as day. Look at Bradbury. He's facing backwards and it's already gone. He's like, He's gone.
We've seen the backs of Slay and Bradbury way too often this year. No question. Yeah. No question. That basically wraps it up. I will throw it to Mike. Final thoughts on the game. Plugs. Tell me.
Let's see. Well, for the game, they just got to tighten up. They got to stop with the turnovers. They got to tighten up. And, Jalen's got to hold on to the ball. That's all there is to it. Tighten up the defense. They have to put in some work, and I think they would. I think they will. As far as plug-wise, as you all know, you can see me every Thursday night right here on the network, on EOP. I start at 6. It is called Mike Laura's Locker Room Podcast. It's myself, James Scorza. So I'll be on at 6. And, of course, every Sunday you can catch me 9 o'clock with my partner, Pat Bernard, at P&M in the AM. And you can also catch me out doing the Clear the Ice, which I did yesterday for the first time, doing Flyers post-game right here. So keep a lookout for me. I'll be on, and I always let you guys know. My name is basically Facebook, Twitter. Find me on there. My Twitter is Mike Lauro at EOP Sports. So make sure you check me out there.
All right. Thanks, Big Al. I mean, Mike. That's today. Mitch, where can we find you, man?
Well, first, with this game, they got to tighten up and get Rashard Penny on the field. That's my main gripe. Get him on the field, and Jalen Hurts got to hold on to the damn ball. And Sean Desai, you got to do something. You got to do something over there. But, yeah, you can find me at Mitch Coxey on YouTube, Twitter, Hardcore Sports on Twitter, and Edge of Philly starting on Thursday. I'll be here Thursday night, Fly Like an Eagle podcast. I cannot wait. So excited.
All right.
It's this Thursday. Working on it. Might be having Mark Farzetta join the program Thursday.
He's the best.
Oh, I had him on before. Yeah, he's great.
He's great. So tonight, Eagles, Sixers versus Trail Blazers post game will be going down. Be on the lookout for that. Party on Broad is moving to Monday nights at 9:00. We've had some scheduling issues, but we will be doing Eagles Sixers content on Monday nights now at 9:00, and we'll be doing our BGN Draft radio show previewing next week's college football breakdown tomorrow night, and that'll also be dropping Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that.
Dude, I went 2-1 this week on my 3-pack. 2-1, yeah. Matter of fact, I have them right here. OU got me again. Every time I take OU, they crap the bed for me. So I had a pretty good one though. I had Oregon -6.5, and I took Texas -19.5 as a part, and along with OU. But of course, OU can never hold up their bargain.
Yeah. I know they're tough. Again, thank you everyone for watching. We will be back for a post game for the Philadelphia 76ers. He is Big Al. That is Mike. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right.
Stay awesome, everyone.